good morning. Is it van der Merwe from Zetster's Lab? I've got one challenge, and that is I've got too much to say, too much to share in just one video. So, what is an artist? That is actually what really spoke to me. It's not what you do, what you create. It's how you see the world. Isn't that awesome? We all see the world differently. So what we create, even if it's a taking of a photograph, it will be different because we see the world differently. So you are an artist just like me, because we are all creating beings, and we are created to create. Look at the little child. I'm coming back to that. A child, before they can walk, they dance. Before they can talk, they sing. Before they can write, they draw and they color. That is who we are before the system got a hold of us. So that is why, listen carefully, that is why so many people after the age of, let's say, 50, start doing art again. Isn't that awesome? You're not different. The desire that you have to start creating is absolutely natural. It's who we are. But most of us, how many of us really go to art school? Very little. So the rest of us are also artists, are also creative beings. But as I say, we went to school, there we learned that we're not creative, we cannot even draw, so we're not artists, and we start to do different things. That's not wrong. It's just we lose our ability to create. And we get married, we go to university, we get married, we have kids, lots of us have jobs, and life just sucks you in, totally sucks you in. And then the kids leave the house, or you leave your job, and what then? And all of a sudden, you get this urge to start creating. And that is, as I can put it, godliness. That is really who we are in spirit. We are creative beings. And all of a sudden, we have time. And the desire that we have, that's been pushed down to create for many decades, all very subtly starts to surface. I cannot tell you how many people come to my introduction to art workshops, petrified. Really, I had a man here once, he was an engineer, and he came because his daughters came a month previously. They created beautiful artworks in one session. And then his wife wanted to come, and she wanted to bring him with. He was in such a panic state. He even had a glass of wine before he came in the morning, just because of fear. What if his artwork isn't as good as his children? What? He was a 45, 50-year-old man, so scared of not being good enough. It was so funny. It was hilarious. And we were just trying to calm him down and just enjoy. And he did this bridge, painted in acrylics, this beautiful bridge. Even my husband came to help, and we had fun. And at the end, when he wrote his name, he had so many wine. They brought wine with. And just for the nerves, you know, I think it was an afternoon session. So it was eats and drinks and wine and whatever they wanted to bring. And at the end, he even spelled his name incorrectly. It was so funny because of fear. Fear keeps us from doing what the abundant life in us is prompting in telling us to do. So he came, he absolutely loved it. He was set free of the fear. So many of us, even I think I was nearly 50, about 20 years ago, when that was just 45 or whatever. So I had this urge to start creating. And then I met up with my a previous friend of mine, and she did these art workshops, and I asked her, can you please help me to create a beautiful artwork? So she did. And that is where my art journey started. And my creative journey, it was just, and I am blown away. My life is on a totally different course. I am loving it. At that stage, I was actually a tennis coach because I did physical education at university, got my degree in PT, physical education, teacher for schools. And what I'm getting at is, if you have this deep, subtle desire to just start creating, it's the abundant life in you urging you to start creating again, like you did as a little child. You know, as I said, they do it automatically. We're supposed to do it automatically. And I am not saying become a great or big or whatever you want to call it artist. Just start creating. Just start doing what makes you happy, what brings out the life in you. And another thing, do not tell me, but I don't have money. You do. If you are on a budget, like most of us are on a budget, I can't just go and buy art supplies to my heart's desire. I need to budget, kind of, you know. So what I've learned is, and this is one of my sayings that's really touched me. First of all, is in art, think like a child. Relax. Forget everything you've heard about art. Start to think like a child again. Just draw, just color, just do what brings out the life in you that makes you happy. And the second one is, use what you have to create what you love. And it started off not as boldly, this use what I have to create what I love. But I am now at a stage where I absolutely love creating with what I find all around me. Yesterday again, we went to our charity shops. Every second week or whatever, when we go into town, we live about 15 kilometers from the center of town, city. So there's not really art workshops and things here and charity shops, but it's in the city. So once a week, twice every second week, husband and I, the two of us go into town to buy what we need that we cannot find here or online. We love the delivering, especially him, you know, order online. And then we go into town, do our stuff, and then we stop at our charity shops just to look, you know. And yesterday we had a fantastic trip, charity shop-wise. I mean, really. So what do I look for when I go to charity shops? Excuse me. Things that I can use to create. all what I need in the house. So what I found yesterday at the one shop was this packet. It was it was like this, and it was $1. So I looked inside, and there was some soft pastels. Yes, they've been used second hand. What I opened it once and it's second hand. So soft pastels, I mean, wonderful. Even these things, I mean, now I can use that in my artworks more. And then there was some paint brushes, pens, lots of potlood, as we call it, pencils. There were even some little things with watercolors, 3 of them. I don't know, red, yellow, blue, I'm not sure. Then there was glue stick. I mean, just this. You can create the most beautiful artworks by just using these things. And once again, now I have it. Now you come home. So you've got your soft pastels. Now what to do with soft pastels? How can I use soft pastels? Now you go into YouTube, you Google soft pastels, easy art with using soft pastels, whatever. And then you will get videos by the thousands showing you how to use soft pastels. It's like chalk. It's just, I don't know, it's the same as chalk. And afterwards you just have to spray it with something to keep it on the page, not being able to rub off. So you go into YouTube and you find soft pastels, what to do with soft pastels, or what to do easy art with a pencil, And another thing, buy yourself a cheap little book, a sketchbook, or some papers. I look at the charity shops. I look for a little book, old art book or something. Or, so if you get all of these for $1, then invest in a little sketchbook at an art shop or a real shop where you can buy art supplies. And that's how you start. And it's just amazing. And the one thing will lead to the next. And that is how you create without any expectation. That is another thing. A specific expectation, except enjoyment. That's the only thing that you expect. To enjoy. Enjoyment. You expect enjoyment, but you don't expect a specific outcome, because that puts pressure on you. And then, the first thing people say when they come to my art workshops is, I cannot even draw a stick man. Well, I can't either. So once again, I went on YouTube and I found this videos of how to draw stick man. I mean, so easy, so stupid, so much enjoyment of just doing it. And the joy of just making marks. Art is making marks. So if you are this is what this video is all about. If you are over 50, let's say, over 40, your children is left home, and you have this desire to just start to create, don't stifle it. Go for it. Really go for it. If there's a person close by that that give art workshops or whatever, go there once or twice. But don't go to people that want to force you once again into a mold. You want to get free of the mold that the world and the system has placed upon us. You just want to play, become playful again, like a child. You want to shed whatever is holding you back from just enjoying creating again. So I don't know if you're gonna love pastels or you're gonna go for acrylics or whatever. That is beside the point. The point is just start. Even you have a little book, just start drawing. Just start playing with what you find at charity shops. Just go into an art shop and buy just finding my stuff here. This is my TV room that I'm sitting in, and in the evenings when I watch TV or YouTube or whatever, I sit on my couch and I just draw. So this is just a little watercolor set my husband bought me. You can buy them very cheaply. You don't have to get the best watercolor set. Get a set and then just start playing. Once again, if you don't know how, beginner art YouTube videos of watercolor, and then just play. So I never, as a child, yes, I played, and then I was very into sport, my parents, tennis, whatever, so I became a very good tennis player. And that's why I even went to university to do physical education. Loved it, whatever, really loved it, but never pursued art. I was always very creative, so I made my own clothes and did all that type of thing. Even had a children's clothing range where I printed things on and created the clothes. And I made then belts, these leather pieces of leather belts. So I was always very creative, but I never did art, never came back to art because I believe I could not do it, because that's what they told me in school. You're not good enough, you know, never won the prizes, so I never continued with that. Even though not all of us are supposed to go into the art, become an artist, art university degree, get an art degree, or go into teaching of art or whatever. But we are all created beings that is supposed to keep creating in the way that the life in us shows us. So my way will be different because I see the world differently than you see the world. So I will do things differently than you will do it. And guess what? It's both right, both uniquely beautiful. So then I started with my art journey with this friend of mine, but with acrylics. So I think about 10, 15 years, I only used acrylics in my specific way. I loved it, and guess what? After a while, I became bored. Really, I became bored. It wasn't. So then I went on an art retreat where I got shown different things, and that blew my mind. It was inks, it was charcoal, it was using jig on inks, it was paper. I never used art paper before. I only used canvas pads, canvas. So a whole new world opened up to me. But it made me very confused, but that's a very good place to be, not exactly knowing where you're going, so you just only thing you can do is just follow the life in you and just do what you are led to do in this moment. So then a while later, I found the sketchbook. That revolutionized me, if you can tell that. because I also write down what speaks to me, what truths pops up, whatever. I write it down in my sketchbook, and then I draw, and I'm practicing faces and everything. I see something that speaks to me and I try it. I don't care how it looks. And it's very funny at this stage, the more crazy and ugly it is, the more I like it. I don't want to do a face that is perfect. I want to do a face with feeling, and I want it to emerge, develop. So it's totally different for me. With my acrylics, I kept going until my painting was beautiful and I liked it and I could sell it and I could give it away, blah, blah, blah. Now with the sketchbook, I don't care. And as you know, if you're on my YouTube channel, then I found the jelly plate. So I am not a master of one thing. I am a master of all. Or what do they say? What is that saying? Whatever. So my job is to encourage you to start living the abundant life that's in you, to start creating. So I've even got a little bag. My daughter-in-law, she's Chinese, she bought this for me one time, and I'm using that as a pencil case. I haven't had a pencil case in 40, 50 years. I mean, now I've got my pencil case, and look at all my pencils and pens and stuff, and I love it. So my pencil case goes with wherever I go. My sketchbook that's not here now, that goes with, and then my watercolor set, that goes with. But as I say, the joy of going into a charity shop to see what art supplies there is, and then you find something like this. So now you know, okay, I've got soft pastels, I don't know what to do with them, but I'm gonna Google, and then I'm gonna incorporate them in what I already are doing and see where that is leading. That is growth. I came to a point with my acrylic where I didn't grow anymore. I became stagnant. That's death. I mean, really. So luckily, my eyes got open at this art retreat. But what I also had to learn there is the woman that gave, the artist, she's absolutely amazing, a fantastic teacher, but in a very strict way. And I felt a little bit constricted. I couldn't just let go and just, see where it leads me. For some people, that's amazing. For me, it wasn't my way. So I had to learn what I could there. And one thing that I've learned is I need to keep moving, keep learning new things, keep creating in my own unique way, and keep encouraging you to do the same. Perhaps you're going to start after watching this, and you're going to start in a specific way, I don't know what way, and then you become a famous artist in that genre. Fantastic. But most of you will not. Most of you will just keep playing. And that is what we are supposed to do after a certain time in our lives. I don't want to say age. It's not in years. I mean, it's just when you've finished with doing the things you have to do, you come to a point where okay, I've got time. What now? Let me start to do what the life in me wants to do, and that is create. And then you start. As you will, many of my videos here, previous ones is where I show you my introduction to art, way of doing things. And as I say, there are so many YouTube videos where you just can see how to start. on your art journey and just enjoy the process of creating. Because what I've also learned my last couple of weeks is art is just making marks, and anyone can make a mark. And add your favorite colors and your scribbles, and afterwards you have an amazing painting. Jelly printing is opening my mind, blowing my mind out of all its proportions and rules and regulations, because there I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm just playing, and I'm just throwing paint and rolling paint and putting leaves and stuff, and it just becomes these beautiful artworks. It just develops. It's got a mind of its own, and I'm loving it. So you can see my jelly plate journey also on my YouTube. But the sky's the limit. Start to go with the flow of the life in you. The life in you will lead you, and stop blocking it. That's what we do. We stifle the life. We block the life because our minds are telling us we're too old to start. You know, you cannot draw. You are not an artist. It's all lies. You are a creative being. Everything you do is create. You create your beautiful day, or you create your bad day. That's you. It's how you see things. And the awesome thing when you start to create art-wise, you start to see things differently. You start to become like a child again and just watch and see, you know, what's going to happen. And that is so exciting. So Izette from Zetster's Lab, love you lots. Thank you for watching. If you're still here at this stage of the video, just go and just start. Just throw paint on a piece of paper. Just make some scribbles and then just color it in. Look what I did yesterday. It is a watercolor pad, and I was doing my, first of all, white scribbles. I bought a new white pen. I always need a pen, white. I struggle to get to leave open spaces white. So at the end, everything is color. So I bought this white, and I was just making scribbles. And then I was just taking my thought of the sea, and we were walking on the beach today, and I started off with the beach, but I don't know what this is. And then I did the watercolors. And then I took my pen, a ordinary pen, and I was just making scribbles over the white ones because you couldn't see the white again. And I was just playing. And this morning, I couldn't believe my eyes. Look at that. Anyone can do this. I mean, this is just scribbles and just making things and just color it in. And voila. Love you lots. If I can, you can. You see, from Zetster's Lab.